Yo, what up, collective? How's everybody doing? I'm 4 weeks into no contact with the trauma bond. Even though we never really saw each other, it was like a year breakup, pretty much. But now, like, full no contact. So I've been really going through these emotions, a lot of acceptance. But the thing about a trauma bond is that they mirror each other. And when an individual mirrors each other, it shows them exactly who they are at the core, or if they have certain insecurities, very much similar. A trauma bond is when it's nuclear and you bond based on trauma. Now, I had an okay childhood. I'm not going to get into it, but I also never saw my mom. So there's neglect, and then my teenage years were, ugh. But for him, you know, he was raised by an alcoholic mother, and his dad died of an overdose. So you can imagine the trauma that he buried as well. Trauma bonding as an anxious attachment was the most exhilarating ride of my life. I met him after I had gastric sleeve surgery, and this surgery changed my life, hey. I was 330 pounds, now I'm 180. But I lost that weight within this relationship. And I was celibate for 3 years prior to entering this relationship, and he was the first guy to ever make me feel beautiful. And he was by my side through the transitioning. It was very toxic. He was an alcoholic and whatever, like I saw past it. There was something in him that I seen and that I cherished deeply. So, since full-blown no contact, man, like, it is an ego death on its own, is it not? Whether you are the victim or the victor. Because nobody really wins, do they? It's trauma that brings the worst out in us. But these relationships, I feel like, are divinely built. You know, I have an Uncle Bradley, and his wife is Emily. My name's Emily. His name is Bradley. My grandma met her husband of 50 years at my age. When I met my ex at 29, I'm 33 now, and that's exact date that my grandma met her significant other to date, my granddad. When we were officially separated in December, you know, I told a girlfriend I was going to be his dark night of the soul. That man got sober because of me. And as he got sober and, you know, as we started connecting again, I could see where his triggers were not healed. And he's going through a spiritual awakening, man. Like, he started seeing angel numbers, and, you know, I would point out the obvious. And, man, I just want him to be so happy. Love is so fucking awesome, but it's so hardening. You know, like, men will try to talk to me right now, and I'll block them. My heart's really healing, hey? Everything in the universe was pulling us apart. And I can understand why today. You know, like, I didn't feel worthy. I didn't think I was beautiful. You know, like, he triggered the fuck out of me and my insecurities. And, man, if I'm all about energy, what kind of frequency is that fucking pulling off, yo? Man. You know, and, like, when you are an empath, you really do pick up on what your partner's feeling. And I swear to God, I can still feel him now. You know, I always said to him that he was very gifted because trauma births spiritual superstars. And now that he's sober, wake up, man. So I don't know. So I've been kind of mute. I've been analyzing my own behaviors, and I've been analyzing his behaviors, but respectfully, it's just, yeah, man, it's no more. And I've never had to deal with that. Like, I don't think I've ever loved somebody this much as an adult. Yeah, like I had my high school sweetheart, and then, you know, Mitchell's dad, but this was nuclear. Like, I lost 150 pounds with him, and he made me feel so beautiful. And, like, man, I see my beauty today, though, you know what I mean? Like, I can see where I fell short, and, like, how I don't, like, that's such an annoying vibe. But, like, I was stuck mentally, like, still as a overweight human being. And, like, whatever, if you're overweight, go for it. But for me, it was really affecting my mental health. It was affecting, yeah, my mental health, man. Because, like, I grew up in a family that looks and status ruled. Looks and status fucking ruled, man. I thought if I got skinny, like, my dad would love me, you know? Yeah, I was rejected by him for being overweight. My stepmom told me at 16. So, like, my reality was warped. You know, and these women, like, we have to strive for perfection. And we have to compete against each other. You know, and, like, I'm 33 now, and now, like, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting any younger. So now, like, I have to deal with that avenue of reality. Because, like, this, how society's built is, it's no more. Morals are coming back. I feel like a trauma bond is a trust bond. A trust bond to self. A trust bond to never sell yourself short. Because for me, I sold myself short because I don't even know what it feels like to have a mother's love today. Like a healthy mother's love. I don't know what it's like to have a father's love in my life. But I love my children. And I imagine what that mother would look like and what that father would look like within me. And I think the fear of being lonely, like, especially when it comes to family, in that essence, you know, like, it's a trap on itself, because I understand today my life path, and that I had to learn to rely on God and Mother Earth. You know, like, these earth angels are real. And they have to experience the most fucked up shit, man. Like, one day I'll share my full story, but not today. Today I want to talk about trauma bonds. Trauma bond is a trust bond to self. And, like, I feel him. Does that make sense? I know he's struggling mentally with being sober and, like, just fucking finally seeing himself for the first time. He's never been sober since he was 15. That's probably him. Get out of here. So, like, if you're going through a trauma bond thing right now, just know it's divinely guided. We're ascending to the fifth dimension. And I had to learn how to love myself again. You know? Like, I thought I loved myself, but, man, I had to love myself in silence, in rejection, and never knowing I could be enough. But I fucking did it. And so can you.